Tamu surveys down the sidelines. It's ruled a catch right near. McCrane got it up. They score 4. The defenders take a 4-0 lead on the league's first 60-yard field goal.
For the best play possible.
See what the play is here. Right down the seam, down the middle of the field. Morris Mason Fairchild with the catch. Picks up 24. Tamu pulls it out on the RPO. In a rhythm now, completes another pass. This one, 3rd and 16. Looking downfield, caught inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Jackson in the backfield. There's a flag down. Jackson trots into the end zone, but let's see if it stands.
The result of the play is a score. DOF 17, St. Louis.
Silver's going to be sacked back at the 34. Silver's back to pass, blitz off the edge, and they sack him back at the 20-yard line. Sam Kidd launching in there like a missile to make the 1st and goal for the Battlehawks. Straight ahead, but not quite. Darvion Howard stopped up by Curtis Jacobs. Howard in the backfield. He gets the call. Nowhere to go, though. Stopped up short of the goal line. Curtis Jacobs goes 2 for 2 in tackle. 3rd and goal. They go trips left. Silvers trips, falls at the 9. It'll be 4th and goal. Eric Roberson was coming
to it consistently, except for on that one drop.
Defenders will have the football first here in the second half. This is Valladay on the kickoff return. Right up the middle, and Rott on 1st and 10. Jackson going to get a touch here and runs for a 1st down beyond the Brooks from his own end zone. A towering punt. Comes down to the 44, well covered, but a couple of missed tackles. And the return, Lewis. A spiral high down to the 33. Fielded cleanly by Fresh. Jackson Brooks kicking 9 yards deep in his end zone. Gets off a good punt out to midfield at about the 48. Fresh on the return. Runs it all the way back to the 35.
We have 10 players.
2 sacks for the Aviators. He's certainly one to watch on defense.
They throw it out to the tight end. Mason Fairchild fights his way for the 1st down, and the defenders are moving. We'll talk about some of the rules in the UFL. Big pass right into the hands of Cornell Powell.
Man coverage. So you've got man coverage right here. You look at this. The safety comes down. He's right over the top. That's Michael Lawson, and Lawson just...
Ready to go.
1st and goal from the 12. Jackson cuts it back inside, and Jackson down to the 3-yard line.
Here on this opening series.
They move lineman Josiah Branch into the backfield. He lays a block. Jackson keeps fighting, getting the push, and they're going to call him down to the 1-yard line.
Different than the NFL, so you can't actually push them in from behind like these linemen are trying to do right there. That's going to be forward progress where the back earns towards forward progress. Then it was blown dead by the official. Never got across the goal line, and we'll have another snap.
At end, and that's Fairchild who goes in motion. Jackson lowers his shoulder, gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Strong opening drive by DC.
And taking advantage of those miscues on defense.
Finley, special teams player of the week after that 60-yard 4-point field goal last week. Adds the extra point. They lead it by a touchdown, but Columbus gets the ball. They end up adding additional seats for the game tonight because of the ticket sales earlier this week. And there's Deion Jackson his first carry after scoring the touchdown, and he picks up 14.
Yeah, nice run there, and they clearly are doing a nice job. This on the first series, they've got a sack, so establishing the run is the best way to help out that O-line.
Oh, that's Abram Smith, and that's run number 7. Aviators coming with the pressure. Abram Smith lowers his shoulder, keeps on fighting, going to be stopped just a yard short of the first down.
Let's take a punt.
This will be interesting to see what they do. Smith around the edge, gets it, and into Columbus territory. More importantly, it's a first down at the 38-yard line.
This is an outstanding block here from the right guard. He's going to come around from his right guard position and watch this hook block right there. That's what springs everything, and now you've got the tight end leading. You got Smith around the edge. That is a beautiful job right there, mashing down that left side.
Ready to go.
Here's that run-pass option. Tomu keeps it, got hit as he was sliding, and that's going to draw
this game.
Yeah, they scored 10 points on their first 2 possessions last week. Nothing the rest of the game. They've got 10 points on the first 2 possessions tonight after the 35-yarder from McCrane. McClendon and the Aviators starting at the 30. That's the first carry of the night for John Lovett. He's going to lose a couple. Leading rusher in the game. 3 carries, 29 yards, and that touchdown. Hands it off to Lovett. And Lovett brought down.
Right on the back of that jersey, and then just drags him down. There it is, right there. That's
call.
a good call. I didn't see that live, Kurt.
Exactly.
That's a heck of a call. There it is, right there. Great work by our camera crew there. Low end zone. Beautiful pictures.
Love it. Hit in the backfield, falls forward for a gain of about half a yard. Let's see if they come here on third down. They do. Extra pressure. McClendon gets it off, and it's caught by Martin, but he is stopped short of the first down. Garyon Conley. Snap is good, and it's drifting to the left. And the Aviators come up short. No points on this one. That's the first possession all night we've had that didn't end in a score. It's 10-7 here in the second quarter. And they've had opportunities to score twice. Only the missed field goal is the difference so far as Tomu keeps it. Good run.
Just like a little speed. I would call it a stretch read. And as soon as those linebackers take off to his left, he sees that gaping hole.
Running quarterbacks all of a sudden. Deion Jackson turns sideways and winds up picking up 4 or 5 extra.
He's going for both teams is because the QB's legs.
Yeah, their threat. Jackson falls forward. It's going to be just about a yard's power. Valladay, the running back, they fake the handoff to him and throw it over the middle of the field where it's caught by corner.
Tomu gets on the edge, so he's going to get on the edge, and then you've got the slot player that just slowly finds that hole in the middle of the defense, and then he finds him.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Jordan loves about this system, and he said it to us this week, is familiarity. Is answers to every play call they run.
Powell's third catch of the game. Here's Valladay. Diving forward.
And they are tonight.
Valladay again. Waits for the block, gets around the edge, almost sprung it. He gets enough for the first down right before Michael Lawson.
Collapse down on this right side and bring a puller around from the left side. Good job right there. They stack them up, and then the patience from Valladay, and he's able to just get to the outside. Good stiff arm right there, and they could...
Ready to go.
Valladay going the other way, cuts it back. The football is what they are doing extremely well tonight. 19th carry on 25 plays, and it's good enough for their second rushing touchdown. Valladay, 11 yards on the score, and DC extends the lead.
Center, and he's going to pull around. A bunch of pullers all the time we got going around for DC. Here he pulls around, and then he leads right up there to the second level, and that's the block that springs Valladay for the touchdown. You got to credit Valladay for the...
Here's Matt McCrane trying to make it a 10-point lead, and he does. Columbus was offsides. They'll turn that down and take the extra point, one would think.
Define it. Yeah.
180. What's up?
McClendon under pressure, going to be brought down for the sack. Devonshea Maxwell with the first sack for these DC defense.
Bull rush straight back into the backfield and right into the chest of Jalen McClendon. That is a beautiful job by Maxwell. Played his college ball at Chattanooga. He had a sack last week from the interior. Already 2 sacks on this young season from an interior defensive lineman. That's doing some...
McClendon pulls it down. Really nowhere to go on that one. Line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard or so. Derek trying to add to the 10-point lead. Tamu with time. Jackson out of the backfield. Little swing pass along the sideline.
Right here. So you got the back in the backfield, and you're going to isolate him on the linebacker right here. You can see he goes right into the flat, and then he just takes off on the wheel right down the sideline. Beautiful ball by Tamu. Good patience right there. Finally gets some time in the pocket, and he's able to deliver a strike. I love that call coming right off of that 4th down stop. Get aggressive, a little creativity there with a wheel route. Brock Tamu, even though they're ready to go.
Tamu takes the high snap, hands it to Jackson, and just like that, they add more. Deion Jackson's 2nd touchdown of the game.
And there's only 6 guys in the run front, and because of that, they are just owning them up front. They didn't block the defensive end. That's the read player. Allows you to go up with the tight end to get the safety.
And the lead is now 17.
One loss, 10 points, not even 200 yards. They're almost to that 200-yard mark here in the first half. 183 total, 113 on the ground.
Oh, what a hit. Saquandre White laid out by Eric Ezukamanga.
Kurt, I need to catch my breath.
So does White.
Oh, my gosh.
What a hit. Played him out.
The defender's going to be right in the throwing lane.
Never give up. John Lovett. Pick up of a couple of yards. Oh, man. Let's see what the call is here on 2nd down. McClendon going deep. And that one's picked off. Trying to go to John Lovett. Sam Kidd all over his
direction the entire time. And he just throws it right to the safety. Sam Kidd didn't have anything else to defend. There's nothing to hold him on the hash. And you can tell McClendon is just staring at the outside receiver. Brock, we talked about the lack of it.
180! What's up?
Love it again. Short a game, this time give him 3. No, they never blew the whistle until after the 2nd fumble. So from the 34, high pass for Lovett. He's going to be dropped for a loss right away. Brandon Smith. McClendon. And he gets it out. Pass caught right to the 24-yard line. It'll ring up 3rd.
Jones, he looks comfortable on his phone over there, 12 gauge.
3rd and 20. McClendon under pressure. Ball stripped again. Columbus going to recover, but it's going to be 4th down and a mile, so that's easy.
Times, and McClendon has had a bit of a quick trigger, and here he just gets it knocked out by his own guy. Nelson right there. Nelson seems to be at the center of everything, right?
Right. Good and bad.
Yeah.
He caught a pass earlier in the game.
That's exactly right. Normally, you ask an offensive lineman how his day went. It's like he either gave up a sack and had a false start or in harm's way.
So Matt McCrane tries to get his 2nd field goal through tonight. He does. DC has now scored on 7 of their 9 possessions. Crossed the 40. The point after fails.
What's up?
Here comes the pressure. McClendon lost the football. And it's over. That play had no opportunity right from the beginning as DC brought the heat. From the 28, they have to get to 40 to keep the ball. Pressure coming, and McClendon sacked. Boy, was he hit down low, and he is slow to get up.
Johnson has had a huge game. Watch number 5. He's going to get chipped by the tight end, and then the tackle is late getting all the way out there. He gets there. The opposite defensive end gets there. That's Parrish, and they just have a party at the quarterback. And, man, let's hope Jalen McClendon is okay because, yeah, you're right, Kurt.
And make the lead a little bit more with a 32-yard attempt. And his third field goal of the night goes through. 3 for 3.
That they are defensively, and they didn't run the ball quite like they were able to tonight last year. So
Darrell Johnson with the tackle, loss of 3. There's no need to put him back in if there's even any question. Jalen Morton running for his life, going deep and unwise. Gabe Taylor with the interception that should seal the win if there were any question.
Parrish, Darrell Johnson, they just continue to put pressure on the passer. There's Parrish flushing him out, and then this one just floated on him. Yeah, you can tell he just didn't get anything on it. Right to Gabe Taylor, and that's going to do it. Oh, boy. That's right. Oh, boy.
You good? Yep.
Oh, Columbus, Ted Ginn Jr. has the Dallas Renegades back.
To Jalen White. Oh, Sunbelt rusher for Clay Helton at Georgia Southern popped. Tagovailoa to throw for the first time to Justin Hall, who is suplexed. Goodness! Bryce Thompson picked him up. 4-man rush. Incomplete. Garyon Conley, the lockdown corner, former first-round pick. Ta'amu. Back to QT, who's in motion. Takes it out to the 41-yard line.
Ready to go.
High snap. Ta'amu handles it. Ashton Jackson bouncing to the 40. You're not gonna get Neon Dion.
Ready to go.
To the ground, and Abram Smith cuts it up for a couple.
You know, we talked about Deion Jackson so far.
The Jake Bates four-pointer is good!
I mean, he's done it once, and now he just does it again. The operation, snap, hold. And it was all about, did he have the distance? And he had plenty of distance. That's 2 of them. That gets some eyeballs in the NFL looking now. You've got a kicker consistently. You did it once? Okay.
On the ground, Marcus Yarns, the Delaware Blue Hen, stuffed. Third down, what are you going to do, Eric McCray? 11-0 defending champs. Ta'amu with all day. Floats it to the tight end. Mason Fairchild, soft hands. And here it comes. Ta'amu feels it. Ty Scott, first down and more. Still fighting the foes from Houston. Will this be the spark? Screen. Quick game to Kirkland. Kirkland nowhere to go. Hounding DC defense. Season in the first 2 weeks. Thrust into the starting role this week. Talia. Dancing. Eyes downfield. Throws downfield. Tiptoe. You only need 1 down. But Justin Hall cannot get the 1 foot down. Third down for Talia Tagovailoa. Lets it rip to the big tight end. It was close to the sticks as he finds Cam Sutton. They do go for it. Tagovailoa drops it. A scrum for the football right at the line of scrimmage. And here comes Bryce Thompson. Thompson picks it up. And it will be, here's Ta'amu under center. Play action. Rolling. Will take it himself and slides down.
Get you through a game or two. That type of player.
46 yards for Mr. Automatica. Matt McCray. Dropped it. DC recovered. That's Jalen White up the middle. 10 in passing yards. Quick pass. Here's Hall. Hall falls forward for a pickup of 3. Led DC to a title as the interim head coach a year ago. He's the guy this year. Talia will throw. Picked off. Conley got it. Gary on Conley. Sideline. Goodbye. Gary on. Here's Marcus Yards out of Delaware, rolling for a few yards on first down. Quick toss. Yards. Gobbled up by Deontay Anderson. Pressure from inside. And Marcus Major, the Minnesota Golden Gopher, gets 1. Sets up 4. 3rd and 1. Back to White. White has nowhere to go. He's stuffed.
Can they come down and help out with? Here comes the safety rotation.
Roberson wraps him up, drops him. Derek Roberson, the Sam Houston State Bearcat with the sack. It's a man that sacked Drew Brees in the NFL, and Derek Roberson. Here's Deion Jackson. Seems like forever since we saw him breaking free.
He just made sure of it right there. Double check.
Ta'amu. Pressure in his face. Elevating to make the catch is Ty Scott. This game, come on, man.
I still mind the second half.
Ta'amu, high throw, but brought down by Cornell. Touchdown catches last year. Got picked up by the Texans. Almost made their active roster, part of the final roster cuts. Back to the throw again. Back to Powell. And Powell spins for the first down. Touchdown catches last year. Got picked up by the Texans. Almost made their active roster, part of the final roster cuts. Back to the throw again. Back to Powell. And Powell spins for the first down.
I hope that works. But I don't think they need no help because we up 21-0. We looking good.
They'll be just fine. Appreciate you, Wale. Back to you guys.
Hey,
So, what do you think about this? What do you think about the defenders?
with the offense, a little I form. Behind the back to the tight end, Riley Moore. Houdini. Come on now.
Hey, come on. Hey,
Come on back.
It wasn't. So this guy lied to me. He said we're going for a field goal.
And Big 12. He never did this though. Never ran for a touchdown. He finds the end zone. He will not be denied. Wale providing. Ta'amu thrown back to Valladay. Valladay first down. The hurdle to the 50-yard. We'll give you a roll.
ready, to go.
Loves to play this game. Ta'amu, the missile to Ty Scott. Got 2 of them today. And McCrane is perfect. Malik Fisher wanted some vengeance against the University out of Tennessee. Back to Major. Jalen White, check that. Doesn't cover that.
$15,000 worth of beer sales.
And another, let's go, Your Honor.
Ready, to go. Oh, boys.
Ta'amu in rhythm to Braylon Sanders. That was 3rd and 8. Ta'amu. What a catch! Riley Moore! Touchdown number 2.
You get to 6'4", 258-pound Riley Moore. You just throw it up, and he just out-jumps him. I mean, he's double-teamed, and the relentless 6'6" tight end Cam Sutton.
Here comes Taylor. Taylor with the sack. Smith is a running back. Andrew Valladay left with an injury, and that is threading the needle to Ty Scott.
Play just RPO, has the opportunity to hand it off or throw it to the tight end in the flat.
And it goes to Smith. Jump cut. Smith. End zone.
There we go. There we go. That's good for AB. Now we can have Mike come in. See if we get the ball back.
3rd and 3, and got it down at the line. Those. And it will be be an opportunity for DC to take a knee and get out of here at 2-1. Just win the UFL title back-to-back. He wants to be the MVP this season. Certainly the MVP for the Defenders in this game. 45-7. I'm Logan Galindo. UFL football alive and well in the nation's capital. Defenders licked apart.
Production has been rock solid going back decades. And this time DC up to the challenge. Latula's brought down by Bryce Thompson. And the shoestring stop creates third down.
Or cover three. Looks like man at the top of the screen.
Play action on third and long. Pocket collapses. Tamu releases. Pass is caught. Braylon Sanders has a first down. So the timeout. Defenders have converted twice on third and long so far. Need 6 yards here. Can't punt it past midfield. Tamu escapes. Jordan Tamu still on his feet. Dragged down from behind to the 15. And the mobility for the dual threat quarterback. Give him 22. After a gain of 1. The 11th play of the drive. Tamu surveys. Floats one end zone. Has a man. And it's hauled into the back corner. QT holds in the touchdown strike, and DC on its first possession reaches the end zone.
Watch this defender come in here with Braylon Sanders. Then there's going to be nobody left out here. The safety's going to try to recover, picking up that corner route, but no one helping on the outside. The underneath guy looks like he's playing zone. The outside corner that drove up looked like he was playing man. Either way, some confusion. But Kiki Kute found the corner of the end zone, and a great ball by Thomas.
He played with the Battlehawks back in 2020. Give to Jackson, there's a burst, and a first down. Spun down to the 35, a gain of 15. From 60 yards or beyond. New rule this year in the United Football League. From the right hash, and McCray from 56 connects. And DC back in front. Appeared to be a catch, was actually Hawkins.
Yes.
On the back side of the hand, no less. Third and goal. Tamu again to the end zone. This time it's caught by Ty Scott. His third year with the Defenders and his first touchdown of the season.
On the left side, his first two reads are out to the left. He's going to come back to Ty Scott, his third read. You just got to worry about the underneath linebacker holds him enough and puts the ball right on the money. Great job by Scott, working through some contact at the line of scrimmage there.
Deion Jackson back on the field, lead rusher of the UFL. No motion now. Tamu across the middle, zips, and another completion. Azukama still on his feet. And a gain of 27. Gets the job done. A 43-yard field goal coming from Matt McCrane out of Kansas State. And McCrane, plenty of leg. Instead of a gain of 22, it's first and 20. Shift the football back to the 11. Cross is going to be brought down in the end zone. Tripped up, and let's see where they spot it. Maxwell was able to get the tackle. It's awarded to DC.
Yeah, this is a young quarterback that's just got to know you cannot retreat. The ball's got to come out quickly when you're in the shadow of your own goalpost. You cannot escape deep when you're that far backed up.
We can throw the screen, but that's kind of a pre-snap indicator.
Jackson the win in motion, and James going to be bottled up. He's going to lose yardage on second down.
And FYI, we're here in the play as you're here in the play too.
For DC, Ryan Sanborn, St. Louis punter. Battlehawks down 10. Closing moments of our third quarter. QT, a little momentum. Still on his feet. Wiggles away. And out of bounds near the 45. Nifty return after a punt of 58.
You get 9 points with one possession. So there's a lot of ways to get back in the game quickly here in the UFL in the fourth quarter.
First catch of the day from Bresnahan moments ago. Tamu's going to keep it. That was crafty. Where was the football? Tamu still on his feet. Dragged down shy of the plus 40. So a field goal from 39 yards out here by Matt McCrane. St. Louis still within striking distance. It's been targeted just 3 occasions today. There's the pressure. Down goes Frost. Ball pops out. Burrell Johnson came up with it. And there's going to be a lot to unpack.
And all the room at the top of your screen.
Cross retreating. Now looking. Directing traffic. Heaves one. Triple coverage. Intercepted at the 5 by Sam Kidd. And DC's going to hold on.
It's effectively a Hail Mary. Everybody running deep. And he's going to have Blake Jackson is going to get behind coverage. This is just such a long throw. He needed to throw this 60 yards plus. Didn't quite have it in him to get it over the top.
Alabama for UFL on Fox on a Friday night where the Stallions trying to find their way back into the hunt, taking on the defending champions, the DC Defenders.
And since the spring league has started, they're going to have to find a way to get a victory tonight.
From the 5-yard line, DC to work across the 30. Eric Ezukama down the sideline. Ezukama with a move inside the 30 and tiptoes out of bounds. What a start.
If you're Birmingham, setting up this explosive offense with great field position, but it just takes one missed tackle. There it is there. And once that tackle is missed, you get an opportunity to get to the sideline. He does an outstanding job of putting his offense in a perfect position to start this game.
Ready? To go.
Austin 3 on the first down carry. Ta'amu with time. Checks it short, and the catch made near the 22-yard line. Coming back to get that football is Braylon.
Ready? To go.
Running back is Jackson. Ta'amu to Sanders, and a first down as he dives across the line.
Ready? To go.
36. Ta'amu floats it for the end zone. One coverage, and Seth Williams pulls it in for a DC touchdown. Javon Antonio with the score, and
DC just a go route up the sideline, and this is my player is better than your player. Get it up high and allow your 6'2", 222-pound wide receiver to jump up, rebound, take the ball out of the air, touchdown, Defenders.
And Javon Antonio with the grab.
That'll be a touchdown.
The extra point makes it 7-0.
We're
done. 17 yards on that last scramble. First down. Thompson Robertson pass deflected. And on the dive, Deontay Anderson is there to scoop it up at the 5.
We're good.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Almost an incredibly perfect drive for Deontay Anderson. You're driving down, and the team that leads the league in takeaways takes it away again.
Anders Carlson added to the roster last week. Missed his only field goal trying for his first extra point as a Stallion. Good snap and hold, and the kick is no good.
All good.
He missed it.
Ready? To go.
Ta'amu by his own blocker and able to fight his way just enough for the first down. He ran into the back of Briley Moore, Devin, and fortunate for DC.
Mason Fairchild falls down and misses a block there, so it starts to muddy the read, but a nice job of 88. Briley Moore being strong at the point of attack and allowing a smooth.
As we come in motion, fake to give to him. Ta'amu going up top. Got a man downfield, drops it in the bucket at the 45 to Cornell Powell. What a pitch and catch.
And there's no reason this should happen. You've got eyes in the backfield from not only the safety, but the corner as well. And Powell just runs over the top of the defense in a perfect throw. Incredible to get out of the shadow of your own end zone.
Jackson looking for room on the edge, and Jackson picks up 8 on that first down carry. For more on this DC Defender quarterback, we check in with Jenny.
Monday, we're good.
Very good job there, Kevin. That's something to keep in mind for fans watching. They still have to go if they get into a third situation.
And they're going to be in third and very long, thanks to an outstanding play by Bryce Thompson.
coming, but he is. They do such a nice job of holding their water, and you don't know that there's a blitzer coming, and Thompson is their Swiss Army knife. He plays in the back end, but he also has a number of tackles for loss. There's another one there.
A loss of 6. So it's 3rd and 21. This is 4-down territory. DTR over the middle, deflected away. Almost picked by Micah Baskerville. 4th and long.
Remember, four guys in the box. DTR has numbers.
4th and 21. Give credit to Joe Wallace for the sack, his first of the year.
Ready to go.
3rd and 7, 4-man rush. Tommy in a swing pocket to the sideline. He's got his tight end Riley Moore for the first down.
Oh, yeah. Ready to go.
10 at the 18. Tommy to keep with room to run. Powers his way down to the 5. What a strong run from the 6'2", 225-pound quarterback.
Taken away by the corner, and then he makes a quick, decisive decision to put his head down and get vertical as quickly as possible, and he finishes the run there on the defensive back Trey Norwood to pick up the first down.
So his first half on 3rd down.
Ready?
Powell in motion at the bottom of the screen. Powers in for the touchdown.
Good job,
Xavier Valladay with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And DC adds to the lead. 6, Matt McCrane for the extra point. And that's 14-6. DC.
Hey, what's that? Rod and split.
2nd and 14. To the air. Jenkins with a catch that fumbles the football. It's scooped up by Baskerville. He flips behind to Anderson, and the DC defenders take it away and are in Birmingham territory. In honor of his brother, punching out that football, getting it back for DC. Tom on the sprint out down the sideline. Ty Scott elbowing in for a DC touchdown. A simple play that turns into 6.
Love this. It's just a triple option, but a different version of it. You got one guy in a predicament. Does he take the quarterback or does he take the guy outside? He takes the quarterback, and a perfect decision by Ta'amu, and then the blocking outside by the leading receiver on this DC defender's offense, Cornell Powell.
Nice snap is pulled down. Really good work by Paxton Brooks to get that.
Ready to go.
First down to 40. Ta'amu going deep over the middle. Drops it in. He's got his man. Eric Ozukama.
What's that? Oh my God, no.
Deflected to the end zone. Was caught by Jordan Thomas off the.
Ready to go.
Toss. Catch made. 9-yard pickup for Cornell Powell.
Soft coverage. They've changed that by choking these defenders up right here.
2nd and 10. Ta'amu to the air. Wide open. Drops it in for Ty Scott. And a touchdown. 37 yards going up top to Scott.
Little move at the top of his route, but it's not a bunch. But the corner settles his feet, and once he settles his feet, he is gone. Right past him, he can't even collision to stop the touchdown. He's just done a really nice job of route running and getting behind the defense consistently. Hey, what's that? He guard! Oh my God! No.
Down and intercepted. Picked up by Conley, and Conley takes it down the sideline, and DTR saves the touchdown.
This guy is coming. But with the safety in the middle of the field, the quarterback doesn't believe it. But he sees him come. He tries to react, but it's a former first-rounder who makes a former first-round talent type play. Goes up and not only bats the ball, but takes it out of the air and gets a return afterward. Outstanding job.
He's missed from 36 and 62. This from 47. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick from Matt McCrane. 31-19. Hey, what's that? After the 45-yard return, it's first down, pressured it up. ETR is down. The sack from Sam Kidd. Hey, what's that? Fourth down, they were trying to set up the screen.
Doesn't really like it.
That walkie-talkie's had a rough night. It's Xavier Valladay down the sideline, inside the 25 of Birmingham before he's finally caught.
On the outside here. However, watch Ta'amu. The threat of Ta'amu running the ball on the outside freezes him, and it creates a small cavity and allows the runner to go.
It's been close. We got to wrap the pressure. Steps away. Now he'll run. Ta'amu going through. Hurdling to the line. Jordan Ta'amu.
You are exactly correct. First he recognizes as a free rusher, eludes him with no problem. Then he covers up, protects the ball, and then he's up. And all right, and then his legs with the ball, gets him down and out.
Here's Valladay to the goal line in for his second touchdown of the night. Xavier Valladay. And the extra for the first. Gotta go, make him throw. Oh my God. Well defended again, DeAndre Baker.
Protection, they do their job as well.
Ready? To go. Something to that run game from the quarterback spot, and now in the air again, he finds Ezukama, and Ezukama down the sideline, stepped out of bounds. Officials are saying he's out of bounds as he worked his way down
to the sideline. Let's take a look and enjoy a wide receiver finishing a run, lowering the shoulder, and boof! Let's see if he gets out of 4 and white.
Ready? To go. Throws, touchdown. Riley Moore with the touchdown grab, and DC puts 6 more on the board. Come on, baby, come on. The extra point puts the 40-yard line for the first. And it's incomplete. John Ross was open, but it's underthrown. But it's DC taking advantage of 3 Birmingham turnovers and walking away with a road win by 17 over the Birmingham Stallions, who now fall to 1-4 on the season.
Chelsea, Jordan Ta'amu looking on. Dallas won the toss and deferred. Defenders will get the ball first. Ezukama weaving his way through traffic and able to get back to the 35. Maybe defenders loading up that right side. They'll run it the other way. Tripped up in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2. Derek Roberson, welcome back to the DC front set. Former D2 national champion at West Florida. Extended give to the 30. Right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Brian Abraham brought him down.
Ready to go.
Officially a gain of 5. RPO. Briley Moore. Briley Moore with a convoy. Off to the races. And number 88 tripped up inside the 10. It'll be first and goal.
What's just a little RPO by Jordan Ta'amu, who kicks it out wide, and it's a great block out there on the middle, out there on the perimeter by Eric.
Ready to go.
Shotgun look again for Ta'amu to the end zone. Oh, and it's corralled, hauled in. Ezukama, first score of the year. The 26-year-old out of Texas Tech from 8 yards out.
This is just a tremendous throw. You get double slants, but watch this safety. That's who Jordan Ta'amu needs to be aware of. And he throws this to the back shoulder of Ezukama because Quinterio Cole is all over this. If that ball's thrown to the front side, it is picked. But he throws it to the back shoulder. Ezukama goes up and gets it. And Quinterio Cole is like by Osarita varying the snap count.
From the 43, it's Day-Day. Trying to get to the perimeter. Cannot do it. That's a TFL. The ball may have popped out late. Defenders think that it did. And it appears as if Dallas will maintain possession, a loss of 4. Renegades need 8 on 4th down. Reed throws it into traffic, incomplete. Could have been picked off. It's better that it wasn't, and all like to join him. On 4th down, Smith weaving his way through the line of scrimmage. And an easy plunge. Already a 4th down conversion on this drive. Looking for number 2, low snap. In the flats, pass caught. Fairchild's got it. Oh, and he's in for the touchdown. On 4th and 2, DC reaching the end zone for the second time.
Across the board, and the guy that's got Fairchild is Donald Payne, but you can see he's already got him leveraged. So when he goes outside, he's already got Donald Payne from the start by a lineman, beat by a step, and Payne's just not able to get far enough outside. So Tamu spits it out, and then Fairchild, all he has to do, a little fake stiff arm into the end zone.
Yeah, that's in 1984. That's been so long ago, people forgot about it.
Take us back to your days in spring football. You were part of the original USFL. How did that help your development?
You know what? I love the USFL. I mean, we had a lot of talent in the USFL that played during that time.
3rd campaign here in D.C.
Well, you're going to see the way Austin Reed throws this ball is this way, and his receiver breaks back down the stem, and DeAndre Baker just cuts inside and is able to pick this thing off. It's similar to an interception last week where he thought the receiver was going to continue inside, but instead stops and comes back down the stem. Emmanuel Butler and Austin Reed not on the same page, and the former NFL draft pick DeAndre Baker out of Georgia gets his first interception of the year after dropping one a week ago.
It's all time in the National Football League. With it. Also wonder, is DC willing to go for it to get on 4th down if they get anything here? Halliday, the running back. Tamu directing traffic. Oh! The one-handed catch! Cordell Powell! Yes, sir! DC.
Well, the thing I love the most, you're going to get Cornell Powell against Ajene Harris, but watch as the play develops. He sees this, he's going to work back to that space, and Jordan Ta'amu throws it into him. And even though one arm is on the defender, keeping him off his body, Cornell Powell says, I don't need 2. All I need is 1 free to snag the TD.
Bunch set both sides. Merriweather trickles out. Reed wants it all front pylon. Mims right through his hands. DC defender friends start the second half today. Right there in section 138. Ball pops out. And DC gets it back. When it's your day, it's your day. Valaday counting as 4 points for DC. Well within his range. And McCrane sends it long. McCrane from way downtown. Austin Reed's been in a funk. He'll try to break out of it here. The RPO, try to get him going. And the toss, low to Bonds. And the lumber came in hot and heavy. On 4th down, Renegades have to have it wide open on the wheel. Merriweather, you cannot do that. Merriweather would still be running to the end zone.
Yeah, they think no shot Dallas scores here.
After a gain of 5, it's Reed. The pump fake, sandwiched down again. Casey Rogers, Reed under duress early and often.
From this angle, you get a sense of how lonely it is.
Here comes the fake, snapped it to the up back. And let's see the second effort for Rod Gardner. The starting linebacker. Gotta have it on 4th and 5. Reed, heavy pressure, incomplete. There are no flags on the field. Derek Parrish. Renegades, by the letter of the UFL law, still within 2 scores with 2 touchdowns and 2 3-point conversions. Oh, the ball popped out, and it jumped right into the offensive lineman's mitts. Renegades need 7. Keep this game alive. Reed sidearms it. Bonds bobbles it, incomplete and out of bounds.
That side of the ball is absolutely figured things out too. In a moment in which I think we all probably saw it and said, don't know how this is going to go.
It's a defense that has shown no weaknesses in this 5-game run.
We are ready to get this started. DC has scored a touchdown on every opening drive this season, and they're going to have the football first as we're underway at Audi Field. From the 8-yard line, the return looking for a little bit of space and out near the 35.
Ready to go.
2nd and 7. From the pistol, it's Jackson over the right side, breaking tackles, and Jackson barrels his way to midfield, and a DC first. Worst rushing attack in the UFL with 40 rushing yards on this opening drive. And on first down, it's a defender tidal wave, burying Rodgers and Robinson for a big loss.
Well, that's a great call.
2nd and goal now from the 11, loss of 6. Rodgers under pressure again, ball's out, and it's recovered by Louisville. Sheridan shifting to Rodgers' left. And on first down, it's Sheridan, and buried in the backfield for a loss on the play. Williams with the call.
3 or 4, probably add one linebacker to the rush. There he is.
And here comes that pressure. Tom, who gets away. Throwing deep downfield. Got a man out there. It's caught at the 40-yard line. Javon Antonio on the run all the way for a DC touchdown.
This is excellent movement from Jordan Ta'amu in the pocket. There's the free rusher. He steps away and then gets the ball down the field. A blown coverage in the back end. I don't know if that was intended for Javon Antonio, but he's the one that catches it. And it's a huge completion, 81-yard touchdown, and DC strikes quickly. They get in the end zone. They weren't trailing for long, Kev. It's something they're not accustomed to.
3rd and 1 from the shotgun this time, trying to give it off to Wheeler, and he's buried in the backfield for a loss. Terrific push up front.
So here, trying to overcome a 3rd and 9.
Ready?
Shade thrown Deion Jackson's way for lack of vert. Tom pumps down the sideline, jump ball opportunity, and it's caught by Ty Scott. It's a touchdown. Contested catch turns into 6, and DC extends the lead. First half for Shannon Harris's team, getting it going. Not a surprise, Ta'amu finding Ty Scott.
Defensive linemen all stood up right now.
And on 3rd and 10, they twist. Rodgers under late pressure. This one, oh my goodness, he's blasted. The ball popping out. Sam
Powell now bottom of your screen in the slot. Can he attack the middle of the field?
2nd down. The pump and the flush. Ta'amu throwing on the run. Open downfield. He's got it at the 25 of Cornell Powell. Out of bounds near the 15.
So we'll see if they can convert here.
3rd and 6 from the 23. Rodgers pocket collapsing, and he's going to go down. Back at the 32-yard line, Rodgers looked up, and all he saw was red. First down and 10. Backside pressure. Down he goes. Yanked down by Roberson. In the ballgame. 3rd and 18 from the 14-yard line. Ta'amu with work to do. Strike, and it's caught, and it's a first down. Going down to get it is Ty Scott. And let's see if that doesn't spark this DC squad.
Ready?
5th catch for Scott, 79 yards receiving today. Ta'amu, quick strike, finds Fairchild. The tight end rumble. It's Robinson, 3rd and 2. The penetration by Derek Roberson. And a bright spot for DC as they get the stop and force forward in the postseason potentially. Tanner Brown sends it long into the landing zone. And Valladay from inside his own 5. With a cut, a crease, some contact, and Valladay against the grain into plus territory. Deion Jackson in the backfield flanking Jordan Ta'amu. MVP of the championship game last year. Play action off the back shoulder. Ty Scott's got it. Ty Scott rides it all the way into the end zone. Didn't take long after the long kick return.
Well, Louisville just gets caught. Safety slow to get over there. Can't make a tackle down the field. And DC quickly on the board.
Particularly with one of the throws made by Jordan Ta'amu. There's 4 miscues in all in that second half. Across the middle, there's the slant. Ezukanma still on his feet. Will drag a defender to the 48.
Do you think it was something he saw on film?
I haven't seen that on film for DC in a while. So I don't think it's something that he was ready for. I think Corey Mayfield Jr. is an instinctive player.
And they'll empty it out for Chandler Rogers. And Rogers is going to be gobbled up by Brandon Smith. 0 first downs. Make it make sense. Valladay from the 12. Valladay, another big return crossing the 45. Cole Kublik with the head coach of DC. Rogers, slant not available. The interception is the other way. Bryce Thompson stayed at home and picked off Rogers. Here come 2 late flags deep in the Louisville backfield. Second quarter begins right now. 13-7 Louisville. And the defender Spencer Sanders, backup quarterback, remains on the field. And a punishing run by Xavier Valladay, stopped by Keaton Ellis. Chris Redmond, born in Louisville, played college football at Louisville, won a Super Bowl championship, a world title with the Ravens as a backup quarterback. And Valladay bangs his way ahead across the 40.
That kind of put the bug in his head about it.
His dad, a high school football coach for 4 decades here in Louisville, Hall of Famer himself.
But you work for your guy so he can be wide open. Great job by Chandler. Rogers throwing it with anticipation, too.
Robinson slung down in the backfield by Bryce Thompson, who already has an
It's at 7 in the past 2 games.
And the 4th time starting in DC territory. Off the back end, the ball pops out. Roberson got to Rogers again. And Curtis Jacobs tried to jump on it for DC to get it right back.
That's why it's important for everyone to do their job.
McCrane is also connected from 60 yards this season. This attempt from 51, it is good. And it's a 1-possession game with 3:33 to go in our first half.
I used to try to wait for everyone to leave the weight room so I can stuff weights in my pants so I can make weight.
Sanders on the move is going to pick up the first down to the 30. Eric Ezukanma can spot somebody on the RPO. Abram Smith all the way into the end zone, taking and dragging defenders with him. And DC a flex at the end of the half.
Well, it's a really nice job by the
gain of 19.
Here we go, salute.
Using a little bit of tempo, Robinson maintained his balance. Does it again. Step shown by this Louisville defense, or offense rather. And on 3rd and 11, Maxwell
out breaking routes.
We got Valladay and Jackson both on the field in the backfield simultaneously. Sanders flings it. Wasn't pretty, but effective. QT, his first grab of the game, and that's a first down on the QB run. And that time Smith picked up 2 to make it 2nd and 8. And a one-handed grab, Cornell Powell. Well, he can show you a little bit of that. I had no idea what word Roddy Jones just said. I had to ask. Xavier Valladay, Abram Smith just went into the medical tent on the DC sideline. How critical is that with the starting quarterback out for the game, and Jordan Ta'amu right up the gut, still on his feet, into the end zone for DC. Xavier Valladay. And the defenders back in front.
To be able to cut off of them and hit that backside, whatever the defense that they're in, the scheme-wise.
There you go, Roddy. Tell the folks, running back, it's not just take the football and run. There's a skill to this.
No doubt about it.
Blue at the eye! Blue at the eye!
Through the air, showing his value today in the UFL. Eric Ezukanma from the 4. DC gets it back after nearly a 9-minute drive. Ezukanma will be spun down shy of the 35. So finally a red zone touchdown for the Kings. Now 1 for 5 in that department. Wheeler, the running back. They'll run it with him. He's going to lose a couple. And gentlemen, let me say this. After there were some things thrown on the DC bench a few moments ago, Valladay weaves his way into plus territory. Warning, trailing by 9. Robinson gobbled up, slung backwards by Derek Parrish. More pressure off the edge. Sanders sees it. Sanders straight ahead. Takes a hard hit into the red zone. That's enough for another first down.
Spread right.
Ty Scott in motion. Little misdirection. There's a crease across the goal line, and there's a touchdown. Deion Jackson, 6th score of the year.
Now on a day where we've seen a 4-point field goal, are we going to...
Jason Bean is their backup. Don't be surprised if you see him at some point tonight as well. But they open the game handing it off to Deion Jackson, and there's a big run by him. Getting this run game going will certainly help take pressure off the quarterback tonight. Jackson, 31 right out of the gate.
Yeah, he does a really nice job of going off the right edge here and finding his way through traffic. When you get to the second level of the defense, when you get your offensive linemen to the linebackers, it's all open grass and space for a guy in Deion Jackson who has been slowed down as of late, but that's a really nice start by him.
And now he is back to bring pressure in the middle, which he has done very well this season. On 3rd and long. Sanders wide open as Powell gets just enough for the first down, and the DC defenders move the chains.
Really nice design. You're going to get everybody clearing out, and you're going to bring Powell across the field, similar to what we saw from Orlando, except for the mesh doesn't have to happen because it's a zone defense. He catches the ball in open space, and it's just him in the sideline to rush and get that first down. A nice start there for Spencer Sanders.
Here's Matt McCrane, 43-yard attempt, and one of the most accurate kickers in the league puts it through and gets DC on the board. So each team has had the ball once on 3rd down attempt. Orlando.
They're going to go halves of the field here.
Pressure picked up. Plummer connects, gets it out to Sam Wiglitz, but he is stopped before he can pick up the first down. But because they have crossed the 50-yard line, they have to go for it on 4th or kick, but they can't punt.
That's a nice tackle by Micah Baskerville because he forced Linguist to hook up just a bit short, and as soon as the ball is caught, he drove him back to create this 4th and short.
Z-Rap, F choice, someone, right? Who's next? Who's next? You got corner, nasty. Cover 0.
These two guys are dangerous in man-to-man coverage, which I expect DC will play.
They got it off. And it's almost intercepted as he was intending that one for Roland Bryce Thompson. We talked about that matchup. Not surprised that that's where you go for it on 4th and 2.
You're exactly right. That's the matchup. The best athlete on the defense for the defenders. He's in position. He reads it out, and he almost has himself a pick 6. Outstanding job of getting a stop and getting off the field. We'll have the DC offense when we come back.
Added pressure on this offense on a long 2nd down. Sanders over the middle of the field. He's got a man open right into the arms of Kiki Cutie.
This is exactly where you want to attack. You're going to get off the hash here. Now the middle is open, and you send a guy right down the middle. Kiki QT does a nice job of finding that open space. Cover 2. The safeties are split. Attack the middle.
45-yard gain. Jackson down inside the 5. First down without getting the touchdown.
Remember, Spencer Sanders' legs are big down here.
Jackson into the end zone, touchdown, and DC takes the lead. Way to answer, young man. I asked that knowing the answer. Here we go on 3rd down. Plummer lofts it up, overthrows Badger, who was the intended receiver, and Badger wound up playing DB, saving him as Sam Kidd had his hands on that to clinch that playoff spot, the first team to do so in the UFL. Nice booming kick by Browning. bounces into the end zone, and so DC will have the long field after the 68-yard kick.
I know this, Isaiah Buggs is going to be on a UFL All-Star game if this continues. What a performance.
He's played this well all season long, been a key member of that defensive front. Here he is, bringing pressure again. He had to take his helmet off because he got grabbed, and that may be what the flag is for.
I think you're right, Kurt. That's what the great defensive linemen do. They have a factor grade. They get sacks, tackles for loss, they bat down.
In the league in takeaways, lead the league in sacks as well, and they get there for the first time tonight. And there's that guy you just mentioned, Roberson, with the sack.
Washington's known to throw in these long yardage situations.
They love to get it to 14.
Looking that way, Sanders pressured, takes it right across the 50-yard line. And this one is accurate. You heard Plummer directing traffic to Corbin. Rolling in motion. The pitch to Corbin, kind of bobbled that one, and it wasn't, didn't allow him to get it going. He had to keep his eye on the ball, and Brandon Smith.
Ready, go.
On 2nd and 2, Sanders keeps it. Good run, he gets pushed on the sidelines. No flag on the play as Avery Young shoved him. Still in bounds, but a good run by Sanders there on 2nd down.
The read key here is Chris Garrett. If he comes down too tight, you go around him. You got a lead blocker as well in number 87, Ben Bresnahan. That's a very nice job there of putting Sanders in a comfortable space. He even said it himself. He feels most comfortable when he's using his legs. He uses them there to pick up a first down. And they've gotten right back on track with 2 wins in a row.
Here comes the blitz. Plummer escapes and gets positive yards on the run before Derek Parrish made the tackle. Spencer Sanders keeps it, lowers his shoulder and picks up 11. Sanders gonna run, gets the first down. Flag on the play as he is brought down inside the 10. Let's see if this stands.
Holding, defense number 27. That penalty will be forced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run with an automatic first.
So it's 1st and goal inside the 5. Galladay fighting. Getting a little help from his friends.
But you can't do that this year.
Not in the UFL.
As soon as he gets help, that play is dead. That's a nice job of the officials knowing the rules and making sure they implement them. As soon as he starts to get help from another white jersey, this play is dead. It has to be on his own accord. And you can see he's driving. But as soon as you start to see a little bit of push from branch number 56 and Poole, that play is dead.
Night for Bugs. What a stand by this defense on the last 2 plays. DC was down 1 yard away from the end zone, and now they're attempting a 28-yard field goal that Matt McCrane puts through. This cuts it down to a 1-score game. Here's Plummer. Gets away. Rowland makes the catch, but going to be stopped far short of first down. And so that should bring on a field goal attempt to try and make it a 2-score game. And he hooks it left. And so Orlando fails to score. And it's still a 1-score contest.
There we go.
Sanders and the DC offense, they've got hope. A win, and the defending champs are in the playoffs. A loss, and it becomes a tough hill to climb. We'll see how this one finishes.
Quicker here. And they've had great success when they go quick as well.
A little sidearm pass caught by Mason Fairchild. He dives, going to be short of the first down. No one touched him, and he got back up, so he'll get enough yardage for the first.
Yeah, it looked like he tripped over his own feet there, and good wherewithal and great attention to detail to get up.
They get it off. Smith Good job of following his lead blocker to pick up 9 and take us to the 2-minute warning.
If they make this field goal.
Here's Matt McCrane. All right. So he makes it a 5-point lead with 1:36 left to go.
Give him a chance.
DC will receive to start the game on the kickoff by Michael Lance. It will be returned by Eric Ezukanma. And flags come in as he takes it to about the 29-yard line. Ensuing play goes to the ground. Jayshon Corbin stacked up in the backfield. Roland had one of those explosive plays, a 62-yard touchdown against DC last week. Underneath to Corbin again, and strung out by Curtis Jacobs. Loss of 1 after all the yardage they gave up to Orlando last week. Screen pass is blown up underneath by Brandon Smith. 5 field goals last week against Orlando, including a 67-yarder, his longest attempt in UFL history. This from 28. And he puts it right down the middle.
Stop. They went 5 wides late. After I'd already called it, they went 5 wides late.
4-man rush. It gets home. Plummer gets taken down by Derek Parrish. What a swing. 4th down, had to punt. Now they're across the 50 after the personal foul. And here's a gaping run. Ball on the deck. Recovered by DC. Beam steps up, flushed out of the pocket. We've already seen him use his legs multiple times today, and he scampers for another first down.
The most important thing is that, I know there's going to be a greater thing that come out of this. God has a bigger plan for me, and this is all in his plan and all in his writing. So, quick throw right there.
It's playing really well right now. Cornell Powell makes one-man miss. And again, DC right back into the red zone.
When they went split safeties, now read the backside guy with the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
McCrane tucks it in from 38.
This is outside zone. We're going to run it. We've been running the ball great all day. Should be again. Yep, there we go. Good run. There we go. He's out.
Abram Smith there on the run, a staple of the DC defenders. Listen, so we got, just sliding out.
He's offside. He's off fucking side.
Get up, Jack.
Here to close the first half. 19 seconds and 1 timeout. And it's Ty Scott returning the kick. Out across the 30. Out across the 50. And now they may try to do something here after an excellent return by Ty Scott. Especially with Orlando getting the ball after half. Season-long 57-yard return. Bean will take a shot over the middle. Caught by Scott with the juggle. And he's inside the 15 with 3 seconds to go. 29-yard attempt from McCrane here, end of the first half. Is money from McCrane. 3rd field goal of the first half. He will take us to the break in a 1-point game from this defensive front. Send Roland in motion. Corbin cut down. Continuing it this afternoon. Best drive of the game for Orlando. First offensive touchdown for either team. Here's Xavier Valladay. Spins out across the 30, taken down in front of the 35.
Number 56 there in the backfield. I'd run right behind him.
Oh, Bean somehow flips it to Valladay. And despite the busted play, DC keeps the drive alive.
Jason Bean hasn't done that today, but it is his first start. First playing time with a new team in a while.
Bean gonna take off, showing the speed. Jason Bean still going. Bean inside the 20 and is taken down after a monster game. It's Valladay again. Cuts it up the middle. Valladay in for a touchdown.
First of the game for DC. And here come the defenders.
See the defensive end jump outside, so that's an automatic handoff for Bean. Now watch the cutback from Valade. That is an inside handoff.
Did he get enough? It's going to depend on the spot. Abram Smith got the carry, and they will move the chains. Plummer pulls it out. And slides down at his own 40.
And what will be a rematch.
Down goes Plummer. Final 90 seconds, as Jordan just alluded to. DC's loss here will lock them into the 4 seed.
How to slow him down. And if you focus on that, then downfield some of those things open up. So a rematch,
Ball on the deck. DC says they have it. Hang on, Tyler Fulgham. Brandon Smith forced the fumble and recovered it.
Instead of an onside kick, you can keep the ball. It's not over. But
pass is caught by Briley Moore.
We'll finally have a conclusion here.
Bean, end zone caught, touchdown. Briley Moore. And now the thought of what could have been had they managed the clock better. They will go for 2, and unfortunately for Tyler Fulgham, they've hit the over.
And straight ahead goes Jackson for a touchdown. So the penalty offered the chance to take the 3 points off the board. Here's Smith, Abram Smith now. Good cutback inside the 10, still on his feet, and finally dragged down inside the 5 by meters. Abram Smith add to the lead. Abram Smith in for the score. Plummer, 4th down, trying to extend the play, but one of the best there is takes him down. Derek Roberson with his 8th sack of the season now.
And we've talked about it. Do you double him or do you leave him one-on-one? They opt to leave Roberson one-on-one here with right tackle Samuel Jackson, and that is a grown man pass rush. Starts with speed, tosses Jackson to the side, and brings Plummer down to stop the drive on 4th down.
Big play by Roberson. And DC maintained. Oh, wow! An interception on play 1. Bryce Thompson. Bryce Thompson with a burst to jump on that opportunity.
Boy, these are the things that just tell me Jack Plummer's a little off his game. This is a layup throw with Chris Rowland coming across the formation. He gets it high and a little bit behind it. That ball has got to be out in front of Chris Rowland so he can catch it and turn the corner high and a little behind him, makes it a tough catch. And off the deflection, Bryce Thompson all over it. And what did Tom just say? He said DC's got to find a way to get a turnover. And on the first play, they do it.
Yes, sir!
Shannon Harris, who talked a lot this week about understanding how to win in the postseason, about resetting things. 17-6 on their home field. 3rd down and 5. Bean. Oh, they got it! It's Moore! Right into the end zone. For DC. Bean being chased. Bean going to use the legs and glide his way out of bounds for a first down.
Boy, we asked Jason Bean this week when we talked to him just about his speed. Ran a 10.35 in the 100 in high school. Didn't even really want to be a 100-meter guy, but they needed someone one of the days. Ran out there, no pun intended, enjoyed it. He was a 4.5 guy in college. And that has been
Bean, and the DC Defenders are headed home to play for the championship. They advance advance to the 2026 United Bowl at Audi Field next Saturday right here on ABC.
Jordan to Amu.
Appreciate you guys.
Deion Jackson went for 2 yards on first down. And now Jackson catches a seam. Deion Jackson with a chunk play for DC. Semi-final win with a 61-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. His third 4-point field goal of the season. One of the great rule changes in the UFL that everybody has enjoyed. This from 48. Great what happens here closely. And Valladay, they're not going to have to worry about that. Xavier Valladay, score it, DC. A 51-yard touchdown by Valladay. Matt McCrane coming off of the 2-minute warning after his excellent semifinal performance a week ago. And he puts it through right into that beer snake section. 2nd and 7. Rodgers does go downfield, and it is picked off. That is intercepted by Kai Gray again on the return. And just before halftime, DC is going to have prime position to add to their lead. And will they cash in with 3 points from Matt McCrane at the end of it? Yes, they do. For 4. A 60-yarder. And he puts it through. Oh, that is just eaten up. A massive tackle for loss by Dennis Johnson, the 300-pounder.
Yeah, working on right guard Kellen Dice, who's a replacement. Watch the vertical penetration here. And Dice has no opportunity. Just too much speed and power from Dennis Johnson there. 6'1", 306. That's a lot of beef packed in that explosive frame. And
2nd and 3. Perry steps up in the pocket. He's going to run it. E.J. Perry's going to have the first down and more as he works his way down to the 11-yard line, finally tackled by Thomas. And how about this story now with E.J. Perry in the second half?